I will begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Firstly, I'd like to say that this motion's winner can only be decided if both sides can prove the effectiveness of their solution. And that's why I'm here to prove the effectiveness of my solution, and I will elaborate further. With my setup, a demographic winter is a phenomenon that has occurred in some countries, such as the Philippines. This phenomenon is when birth rates decline steadily, leading to a much larger population of older people compared to the younger generation. This has already happened in the Philippines, as the birth rate has been declining by 1% each year, and the median age has been increasing and now at 26.1 years old. Though some people find this as a problem, as they might view this as harmful to to the population of the future generations, uh, mm, the future of the country, because the future generations population declines. They fear that the future of the country is not secure. And that's why we are so proud to oppose them, as we take a stance to support the demographic winter that is happening, and to disprove the belief that the future of this developing country can only be reached if the birth rate does not decline, and justify why the government should not stop the demographic winter from happening. Firstly, I would take a look at the main stakeholders in this argument, which is the developing countries themselves. As for the analysis, developing countries are countries that are still developing. In this context, developing means they are trying to reach a more advanced state of technology, economy, and education, and etc. And they also want to sustain themselves eventually. The developing countries want the economy to growth, and of the economy to grow in their country, so to advance further and become independent. They rely on natural resources to fuel their economy, that needs workers to process the natural resources to grow that to grow there while the to grow there. While the natural resources are limited and without proper management, it can be utilized ineffectively, such as with the case of Indonesia exporting raw mining materials instead of sending processed goods from said materials. And that shows that they also need human resources as well, like able-bodied workers to process the said resources and services, and ultimately bring economic development. This lack of proper resources is shown in the education of the developing countries, such as with overpopulated classrooms, with increasing birth rates, quality of life generally low because of lack of resources like technology, food, and water, and technology itself being quite low because of the lack of a good economy, and the lack of good human resources to make developments and improvements to said technology. Onto my burden of proof. Here I will try to prove why three things. Firstly, why is declining birth rate not bad? Secondly, why can we only achieve development if the demographic winter happens? And thirdly, why is it justified? Firstly, why is declining birth rates not bad? The population decreasing can indicate human resources progress. This is because of the of with less population, less of the population, the management of resources can be pushed towards economic development can happen. This is especially true for developing countries that have fewer resources, which I will explain more in my argument. And secondly, why can we only achieve development if demographic winter happens? As said before, the development of developing countries can be pushed by the resource management and the economic development brought by the a demographic winter. But why is it the only way? The answer is that developing countries rely on human resources, aka the workforce, to process the resources and services, and The demographic winter can help this by increasing the population of working class generations that I will explain more in my argument. And thirdly, why is this justified, and why should the government take part in stopping it? This is because it's because the demogra- uh, demographic demographic winter is a normal progression in modern is a form of normal progression in modern values. What I mean by this is that the traditional values such as having more kids will make you more happy, women should marry, and the thought of parents providing care and resources and etc. to their families have evolved to where when women now being able to have equal working rights as men, we see more women now working working and having jobs, leading to more women pursuing jobs, uh, and society's beliefs to change completely naturally without the tampering of the government, uh, and and thus leading to low birth rates. Uh, and to my arguments. Here I will explain three things. Firstly, I will explain two things. Sorry, the improvement of education, and a demographic winter can bring improvements to education because of the decrease in the population with fewer resources. Education in developing countries are limited, with classrooms being overpopulated and teachers being hard to come by. But with the decrease in population, the management of these education systems can be reached. There are 3 points here. Firstly, decrease in population will bring pressure will reduce the pressure on the teachers trying to teach too many students, giving them a better learning environment. Secondly, with the increase of the workforce brought on by the demographic winter, the amount of workforce, aka teachers, will also increase, lowering the ratio of students and teachers, increasing the amount of teachers that will actually teach, and increasing the amount of education overall in said country. And thirdly, with the decrease of population and increase of teachers, the management of education can be done more effectively, from creating a good working environment or a learning environment will bring a more effective way of teaching, and increasing the education of the future generation, and increasing the human resources as well as a whole, by giving more education and knowledge to the younger generation, so when they grow up they have more knowledge, ultimately having the developing country to grow. And secondly, the improvement of quality of life. With the increase in human resources, management resources can be increased, since the human resources or workforce can accommodate it and give away into more job opportunities, better product, and